There's lots of tree disorders that are caused by living organisms. In this case, this is an eastern tent caterpillar, which has one generation a year and builds nests like this one right here up in trees like the wild cherry. These guys are very small right now. They'll soon be very big and will defoliate the entire tree. There's an awful lot you can do to help get rid of these problems. One thing you could do would be to spray this with a lighter insecticide like Bacillus thuringiensis, which is considered to be less toxic. You could also pull these nests out of the trees and allow birds to feed on the young caterpillars. These are some very nice root flares on this tree, and you think everything's okay. Then you start to move the mulch out of the way. As I move the mulch out of the way, I find all these tiny little termites all in the tree. So this tree's had some damage somewhere in the past. The termites are moving in and weakening it quite a bit. You can see there's hundreds of small termites here coming out of the ground. There must be some major damage inside this tree. There's a lot of damage on this tree here that's caused by a bird called a yellow-bellied sapsucker, also called a yellowhammer. The bird has made small openings in the bark about the same height off the ground all the way around the tree. These holes are opened up by the bird so he can eat sap and cambium tissue that's sweet and that's on the inside. Sometimes these holes, in fact, attract insects the bird may come back and eat later. This is one of the most beautiful of all American trees. It's called the American beech. It's a great tree, slow growing, has all kinds of beautiful foliage in the wintertime. But this tree has a lot of significant problems also. It's got the same wire basket issues we talked about earlier left on the root ball. It's got the same strapping issues we've talked about earlier. This one completely girdles the tree. It also has a large amount of ants moving up and down the tree, and as you know, ants can cause scale insects to move from one plant to another, weakening the tree. Scale insects are probably the most destructive pest we have of landscape trees and shrubs. These tiny circles here on the trunk are actually scale insects that are being farmed by ants that are running up and down the trunk. The ants feed on the scales, they eat the sugar, they pull out of the sap, and the scales, of course, weaken the tree quite a bit.